either the Chinese or the Japanese or something came in with cheaper stuff that was like half price, and they couldn't keep up, so they went bankrupt.
Or did it fall out of fashion too? Is it furniture?
No, it was just all carpet.
Oh, I see.
It was, there were samples of rugs,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
right there, very,
Oh.
very colorful rugs. And they were, you know, like, I didn't even remember them as a kid, because I believe I remember seeing
Real
those where
thin, I
it
think.
filled up your whole room.
Yeah.
It was a full-size room, rugs.
Was it woven or tufted?
Yeah, woven.
Woven.
There's
They were woven.
there's the mills right there,
They
the
were
Yeah.
woven.
looms right there.
Yep.
Who came up with that idea?
Yeah. Mr. Craig.
Yeah.
So here's, to give you guys an example of what a workhorse she is and how interesting her relative's history is. Loeb Lake had a lot of houses around it. Actually, we can see, if we look from the overhead view that Greg put up, we can't zoom on this unfortunately, but there's little houses all around the lake here, right? So they were all positioned, and Gene added all those houses back in. So if we hover on one of these, let's find a hover here.
When,
1217 Loeb right there.
Yeah.
We click on it, and she's got it.
We actually grew up there, when I was 3 years old, we moved from a rental duplex over by the cathedral. My dad built this, we lived in our basement for 10 years, and, as cash prevailed, he built the upstairs, when you could still legally do that. And then, our dad died in 1966, city came through and bought out the entire neighborhood. Sadly, it was either take the amount you got or you get nothing. And so by 1970, every house other than ours was bulldozed. And my brother at 17 years old was smart enough to say, hey, this house is not even 10 years old. And he asked the city about buying it back. And he got it bought back. And it's a couple that had lost their house to a fire out in North St. Paul, and I can still drive by my dad's house.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, yeah, so she built up all these places, so we clicked on 1217, and she's got historical entries about the destruction of the houses, and unfortunately moved. Oh, this is it. The Winter Carnival medallion was hidden in the park in February of '72. I had no clue. I always thought they hid it in Como and that was it.
And that was maddening because it was underneath the willow tree of my neighbors, and I figured, to this day, if I can't find it in my own backyard, I'm not looking anywhere else.
So it wasn't on public property back then?
That was
Oh, was it?
part.
Okay,
And my
okay.
mother, she says, every year they do it where they're gonna be refurbishing. It's gonna be where our old house was, and she was right.
I remember it was Miriam Park as many years ago when I was a kid. They magnetized it under a mailbox.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
Which
that
is
was-
like, that's not really public property.
No.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't get in trouble for
Robert
this.
Street and
Yeah, on
something
Robert
else.
Street.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are the old
some of
days.
the mailbox.
Yeah. But Gina's doing some fantastic stuff. You guys can click on some of these film strip things are hers, or just go to Gene. You can search a person's name. You know, I could type, for example, in the search, we're going to type RULLI.
There's still probably another 40 houses below that I gotta add that are gone,
Yeah.
so.
So Angelo, we just type Ruley and we come up with all the entries under that name, or anything in the text, whatever, any family member. You guys try searching. If you got relatives in St. Paul, try throwing the name in the search. You never know what's going to come up. Here we got Armando Ruley, utility man, 1949, 695 Preble.
Yep.
Obviously Angelo knows that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know. Now I do.
Yeah.
We got a Carmen Ruley.
Yep.
Who's that one, Angelo?
That's his cousin.
Okay. He knows them all.
Well, the Ruley family is split. Lower East Side of St. Paul and the West End, call it the Monroe District.
Yeah.
Okay.
Within a few blocks of Monroe.
Is that Samuel? We have a
That's Sam,
Okay.
his cousin.
Yeah.
Okay, Paul and Carmen, yeah.
Angela's brother, Sam?
Well, there's two Sams. That's very
Yeah, well,
confusing.
Sam, the young Sam.
Young Sam was on the east side and older Sam was on the west end.
And sometimes there's some cool stuff here, you know, so Carmen Ruley was a serviceman, worked at Pioneer Typewriter. So eventually we'll get Pioneer typewriter in there too. People can go there and hopefully look at pictures of the place and really get formations of what these people were about. So, like I say, we want to make this as big as we can. Jean, thanks so much. Give it up for Jean. She's really building the site up.